After getting off work and returning home, Cindy asked me if I wanted to go for a spa. Utterly exhausted, I collapsed on the bed and replied to her, "Don't want to do it, don't want to go out, too tired today." I washed my face and saw my disheveled, dusty appearance in the mirror. On second thought, perhaps I should go after all. I opened Facebook again. "Want to do it now, come out for a bit." 5 minutes later, my phone popped up with a message from my boss. Address. After a grueling day at work, I returned home utterly drained and plunged onto the bed. At that moment, Cindy sent a message, "Little darling, do you want to accompany me for a spa today?" Cindy is a second-generation rich kid, with money and leisure every day, either getting manicures or spas. Poor me, this unfortunate wage slave, after a full day at work. A pile of messy affairs left me mentally and physically exhausted. Where would I find the energy for a spa? Don't want to do it, don't want to go out, too tired today. Alright then, let's make plans when you feel like going. I lay on the bed for a moment, then remembered I hadn't removed my makeup. I went to the sink, removed it, but discovered my skin had become sallow and dull. Disheveled and dusty, it was the epitome of a wage slave's misery. I lifted my head, and a tear fell from the corner of my eye. No. How could I let this lousy job turn me into this state? Even if I have to be a workhorse, this lady will be the most beautiful one. Then, while changing clothes, I opened the phone's chat window. "Want to do it now, come out for a bit." And tossed the phone aside. After changing into outing clothes, the message tone rang. The name on the lock screen wasn't Cindy's, but my boss's. I cursed inwardly, damn boss. Even after work, he won't let me rest. He couldn't be assigning more work, could he? I opened his message, looked at our chat, and was shocked speechless. Me, want to do it now, come out for a bit. Boss, address. Damn. Sent to the wrong person. And it wasn't that meaning anyway. I looked at the message my boss sent 5 minutes ago, "Finish tomorrow's work report by 8 and send it to me." Regretting not having the habit of pinning chats, I casually opened the top avatar in the message list, thinking it was Cindy whom I had just contacted. Staring at that address, I fell into deep thought. What the hell? What does it mean? Does the boss really want to sleep with me? I typed shakily, "Mr. Adrian." I sent it to the wrong person. The other side was silent for a while, then a message popped up, "Who did you intend to send it to?" I was dumbfounded. My boss Adrian, could he possibly like me? Holy crap. Am I finally about to make it big? No more being a workhorse, I'm going to be the boss's wife. Not knowing how to reply for a moment, I quickly screenshot and sent it to Cindy. First, I fiercely gloated and fangirled a bit. The other side was even more shocked than me. "Impressive, baby, Adrian is famously uninterested in women in the circle. If you can get him, you're really badass." Cindy is a second-generation rich, but Adrian is from generations of wealth, the sole heir of 3 generations in the Adrian family. Although Adrian is a level above Cindy, their circles occasionally intersect. She mentioned that a man like Adrian, perfect in every aspect, is the white moonlight for many rich young ladies, but he is naturally aloof and hard to approach. Girls who tried to strike up a conversation with him were ruthlessly rebuffed by his parsimonious words. Suddenly, my heartbeat quickened a few beats, and I was about to ask Cindy how to reply to him. But the next second, his message popped up, "I thought you lost it, truth or dare. Just going along with what you said." A bucket of cold water poured over my head. Fine, fine, fine. I must have been deluded from reading too many novels. Cindy was still extremely excited, "So, how are you going to reply to him? Why not test him, say it was meant for your crush, see his reaction?" I let out a long sigh. I screenshot those 2 sentences and sent them to her. We both fell silent. Adrian added, "Remember to send me the report." An inexplicable anger rose in my heart. I forcibly converted the embarrassment of my self-indulgence into resentment toward work. Evil capitalist, utterly deranged. No humanity. Inhumane. even occupying my private space after work hours. So, I aggressively typed a few words. Yes, Mr. Adrian. Your subordinate is duty-bound. Bullshit. But I still need my job. I originally thought this was just an unknown blunder. Let it pass quietly. The next day, I arrived at the company, and Adrian was using the PPT I made for the meeting. As his assistant, I sat on a peripheral chair dozing off. But I was suddenly awakened by the bustling discussions from the conference table. I looked up and saw them pointing at the PPT, whispering. Then I looked again. Oh no. When transferring the PPT, I used my Facebook. At this moment, for some reason, my chat history with Cindy was open. Who casually got Mr. Adrian out on a date with screenshot 1 attached. Cindy, impressive, baby, Adrian is famously uninterested in women in the circle. Cindy, if you can get him, you're really badass. Me, they say the pinker the fingertips, the fiercer in bed, Mr. Adrian's hands, hee hee. Me, once I accidentally spilled Mr. Adrian's cup, and when his shirt got wet, I saw the outline of his abs. Me, a full 8-pack. Me, fantasized about him for so long, finally do you think he might secretly like me, maybe force me to marry him ha 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 ha. With screenshot 2 attached. The truth of my self-indulgent fantasies was fully exposed. I could feel countless scorching gazes fixed on me, including Adrian's, his dark eyes shifting from the computer screen in front with 3 parts shock, landing on me. Whoosh, my face blushed all the way to my ears. So embarrassing ah. Adrian then coughed softly and closed the accidentally open chat interface. If there was a hole in the ground right now, I would definitely crawl into it. Now, onto the main topic. But I wasn't sure if I misread it. A faint smile seemed to flicker across his lips. This meeting dragged on so long. Everywhere, there were subtle glances seemingly casually appraising me. Mockery, ridicule, watching the show. After the meeting ended, I lowered my head without looking back and walked out. Someone like her daring to covet Mr. Adrian, what a joke. What status does Mr. Adrian have? She has no self-awareness. If that miss from the Vivian family finds out, she's done for. Along the way, 2 colleagues walked behind me gossiping. Their voices not concealed at all. I could only pretend not to hear. Actually, they were right, it was my overreaching. I bitterly slapped my own mouth. All because of my loose tongue, so blatantly fangirling. Every second in the assistant's office afterward felt like sitting on pins and needles. At lunchtime, I got the meal ordered for Adrian. Hesitantly, I walked to the office door, seeing it slightly ajar. Adrian was lying with eyes closed on the black leather sofa behind the desk. Great, he was asleep. As long as I quietly go in, put down the food, and quietly leave, it won't be awkward. I walked up to him, he had his eyes closed, leaning back in the chair, tilted backward. Legs crossed, hands on the armrests, expression slightly weary. The white shirt had 2 buttons undone, slightly revealing the collarbone, with fringe hair covering part of the brows. Gulp. Looking at that impeccable face, I couldn't help but swallow. I really want to sleep with him. No. What am I thinking? I gently put down the lunchbox, preparing to tiptoe out. A magnetic voice sounded from behind, close the door. My whole body stiffened, my back chilled. Oh okay, Mr. Adrian. Hurry and go. Wait. That voice called me back again. I turned around pretending to be calm, but inwardly freaking out. Oh Mom, he won't fire me, will he? Won't deduct my salary? Mr. Adrian, any other instructions? The man had already sat up straight, fiddling with the files in front. Sorry, it was my accidental touch. Why bring it up again? I really want to find a crack in the ground to crawl into. He's even apologizing to me, why is he so gentlemanly? I forced a smile uglier than crying. It's fine, Mr. Adrian. He lowered his eyes, I couldn't see his expression. Also, in the future, focus your mind on work. For some reason, my heart suddenly sank. Okay, boss. I returned to my desk, biting the pen cap. Feeling a bit lost inside. Why lost? Probably because I had expectations. Inappropriate expectations. Like 7 years ago. Are you Leah? I looked up. A girl in a dress stood in front of me. Yes, that's me. What do you need? I always felt her tone was unfriendly. She tilted her head up, not looking at me directly. Go pour me a cup of coffee. She turned and sat on the opposite sofa. I was confused, but anyone who can enter the Adrian Corporation building has an extraordinary status. Can't afford to offend. I obediently did so, but at the water bar, I heard 2 colleagues gossiping. She's done for now, the real deal has come knocking. There's a good show to watch. What the heck, I leaned over. How am I done for? Who is she? They were startled and said, that's the heiress of the Vivian Group, Mr. Adrian's #1 fangirl. I have a rich friend who told me insider info. In their circle, Vivian has put in a lot of effort to chase Mr. Adrian. You can't access that level, no wonder you don't know. So that's it. So, today's company blunder was known to that Vivian too? That's why she's hostile toward me. Loose tongue feels good in the moment, but constant loose tongue leads to no good end. I brewed the coffee and placed it in front of her. Please enjoy. I should hurry and leave. Adrian is out on business. If she starts trouble with me now, I can't handle it. Come back. She called me, and I had a bad feeling. Did I say I wanted iced coffee? I knew it. Take it back and remake it, I want hot. Looking at the 40-degree weather outside, I silently forced a weary smile. Okay, Vivian. So. Too hot. Remake. Too cold. Remake. Too greasy. Remake. Too little sugar. Remake. Not brewed properly. Remake. The cup rim is a bit dirty. Remake. Damn it. Vivian, there's no more coffee. Accompanied by the crisp sound of the cup bottom hitting the saucer, she stood up irritably. Is the coffee gone, or do you not want to serve me? I'm here to find Brother Adrian, and as his assistant, this is how you work. Can't even pour coffee properly, what does the company keep you for? I think, might as well keep a dog. Originally, I thought she was just a spoiled miss who likes to throw tantrums. Didn't expect it to escalate to personal insults. I ignored her and turned to leave. If I can't provoke, can't I hide? She suddenly grabbed my arm, picked up the coffee on the table, and was about to splash me. Cliché. I dodged. Obviously, my reaction was faster than hers, the coffee didn't hit me. It splashed on Adrian walking up from behind. His white shirt was soaked in a large patch. But this time I couldn't see the abs because the coffee was brown. Everyone present froze. Adrian, Brother Adrian, I didn't mean to. It was her, I just said the coffee cup was a bit dirty and wanted a new one, and your assistant gave me attitude. Vivian pointed at me. Adrian's breathing grew heavier by a third, his face expressionless. His gaze glanced at her. The company isn't a place for you to throw your missy tantrums. Don't come here to find me anymore. No wonder Cindy said he could make those rich misses hit walls everywhere. Cold enough, ruthless enough. He didn't engage her further, brushed past my side, and said faintly, come in with me. Under Vivian's incredulous glare, I followed Adrian into the office. Help me find some clothes. I took out a suit from a cabinet. Adrian is a very career-oriented man. Sometimes when busy, he wouldn't even go home at night but sleep directly at the company. This happened often, so he simply kept several sets of clothes here. He possesses the calm and rationality of a mature man, with extremely strong ambition, not at all like a hereditary rich young master. He has always been strict with his own requirements and work intensity. I had just taken out the suit when I turned back. He had already taken off his shirt, baring his upper body. My face instantly turned red. When did he become so open? Give it here. He extended his large hand toward me. Oh. I snapped back and immediately handed it to him. But my eyes unconsciously scanned. Distinct collarbones, snow-white pecs, bulging veins on the forearms, and the perfect muscle lines on the abdomen. How is he not avoiding it all? Could he be doing it on purpose? I slapped my own face. How could it be, someone like him? Impossible. Can you tie a tie? Huh? I should be able to. As a kid, playing with Dad's ties, curiosity made him teach me how. Come help me. This isn't good. Doesn't he know how himself? But I didn't ask, obediently walked up to him. His height is superior, I only reach his collarbone. I fumbled tying the tie, for some reason it felt strange. The distance was exceptionally close. Or rather, he could clearly lift his face to give me space. But he didn't, instead lowering his head. His even breathing fell on my nose tip. He had a faint tobacco scent. The air was quiet, I seemed to hear my own heartbeat. A seductive, pleasant voice suddenly sounded in my ear, "Want to try?" My hand suddenly stopped. Incredulously looking at him. Try, what? He seemed to understand my gaze. His bony hand lifted, behind his back. Slender fingers raised by my ear, faintly brushing my temple hair. The pinker the fingertips. Let you try if it's fierce or not. Somehow, this tie-tying went on. Tied to the desk, tied to the sofa, then to the floor-to-ceiling window. Really fierce. Different from the usual abstinent and rational boss. Or rather, completely opposite. So embarrassing. After a long time. He put on his suit. I was still pulling up my pants. Go out. He turned his back to me, smoking by the floor-to-ceiling window. That's it? Just like that, nothing else to say? I'm going on a business trip tomorrow, prepare my luggage. Issuing orders as usual. Really nothing. As if nothing happened earlier. So I was just his stress relief? I laughed in anger. My chest felt stuffy. Forget it. With his looks, it's me taking advantage of him. Hiring a model costs money too. Truly the coldest person I've seen. Capitalists have no emotions. I opened the office door. A dozen people tumbled into my arms. What are you doing? They hurriedly straightened themselves and stood properly. I have a file for Mr. Adrian to sign. I have a project payment for Mr. Adrian to approve. I'm here to clean the doorway hygiene, it's a bit dirty. I ignored them and strode out. Leah, you were in Mr. Adrian's office for 2 hours, what were you doing? Yeah, Leah, tell me secretly, I won't tell others. Mr. Adrian didn't really do that with you, did he? I thought Mr. Adrian didn't like women, you really have some skills. Leah, if you really become the boss's wife, please give me a promotion and raise. I'll follow your lead from now on. Me too, Leah, I'll be your little brother from now on. So annoying, so annoying, so annoying, so annoying, so annoying, I buried my head deeply. So noisy. Slap, I slammed the table. I said, I was helping Mr. Adrian organize files inside. Organize files, organize files. Hear that? If anyone dares to spread rumors, Mr. Adrian won't let you off. Ding, time to get off work. I grabbed my backpack and ran. This group is scarier than zombies. My phone popped up with Adrian's message. It was a location. Finish organizing by 7. Heh. Yeah, for people of their status. Sleeping with a woman is nothing worth caring about. In the half year since joining, this was my first time at Adrian's home. Just seeing the community gate, I gasped. If not told, I might think it was a 5-star hotel lobby. No, several times that. His community has a swimming pool larger than a university field, a golf course that stretches endlessly. Cinema, bar, billiard hall, tea house, various entertainment facilities. One could say, people living here have no need to leave the gate. At 16, I only knew the boy I secretly crushed on was like a clear breeze and bright moon. Excellent grades, upright values, respects women, personality bold and unrestrained. At 25, I truly realized the gap between us. And he became taciturn, dignified and reserved. Even, everything is changing, except between us. One ordinary middle-class family, one aristocratic lineage. Heaven and earth difference. Although prepared mentally early, still sudden inferiority. Someone like him is beyond my reach in this lifetime. But I still couldn't control walking toward him. He opened the door for me, and I packed his business trip luggage. Looking at the man sitting at the computer desk, I had an indescribable feeling in my heart. Mr. Adrian, things are packed. He nodded. Before leaving, he called me back. Still that composed and dignified manner. Sorry. He paused, slowly speaking. I didn't know you were. The first time. Indescribable feeling. What does sorry mean? It means definitely not planning to take responsibility. So sorry. Why say it out? Clearly could pretend it never happened. Why insist on mentioning it in front of me? Originally didn't feel this aggrieved. Bastard. I held back tears and left. Not tall enough, next batch. Not sexy enough, next batch. Not big enough, next batch. Row after row of male models came in and out of the private room door. Red wine swayed in the glass, rippling. My face was a bit flushed. Cindy sighed deeply. Are you dissatisfied, or is the person in your heart not here? Slap. The wine glass thrown on the coffee table. Joking. I'm not thinking about that bastard. I didn't say who yet. Him then. I pointed at the model in front. Lights and wine, fleeting shadows. The strong alcohol scent made my consciousness blurry. Didn't notice the phone vibrating at all. Sister, your phone is ringing. It was the boy beside reminding me. I answered the call. It was a video. I seemed to see Adrian's face. He said something opening and closing his mouth. Couldn't hear clearly, music too loud. But what could he want from me? Besides work, he never initiates contact. My lips against the phone's microphone, whatever. Fuck you, Adrian. Today is Saturday, okay? Hello? Understand? Saturday, off work, okay? Every day off and still making me overtime. Do you have any humanity? Overtime without extra pay. Be human, okay? I've tolerated you for a long time. Beep, I hung up. Screw Adrian. What love? What work? I don't want any of it. Damn scumbag. I'm done. Dreamed I cursed out the boss. I sat up startled from the bed, glanced around. Still at home. Good, almost lost my job. Looked at the phone. Dozens of messages. Adrian, where are you? Adrian, are you alone? Adrian, that one beside you, you hired? Adrian, a bit inferior, seems not as handsome as me. Adrian, drinking? Adrian, how much did you drink? Adrian, when does it end? Adrian, call back when done. Adrian, Leah, speak. Adrian, back yet? Adrian, a girl, can you be more careful? Adrian, drunk? Adrian, if no reply, deduct your salary. Deduct my salary? Why? Recalling yesterday, I gasped. Done for, that call was real. Cursing the boss was real. I'm dead. How to face him? Ding dong. Doorbell rang. At this time, who? So annoying. Opened the door, but what came was a deep kiss. Couldn't breathe. I pushed him away desperately. Boss. Aren't you on a business trip? The suitcase was left outside, his clothes and hair a bit messy. His posture looked like he rushed back overnight. His shoulders broad, tightly enveloping me. Pushed me into the room. Nose tip against my forehead, heavy breathing. Who were you with last night? Went drinking with friends. Strange, why am I answering him? Went hiring models with friends, right? His scorching fingertips stroked, making my heart tremble. This was different from the usual Adrian. Stayed overnight? Ah? I blushed, looking at him puzzled. Why ask this? Does he care a lot? Did he sleep with you? The flame in my heart surged up. How could he ask such direct question? Suddenly my neck was grabbed by a large hand. He pinned me against the wall. Answer me. No, no, no. Let me go. That hand released, but what came was an even more suffocating kiss. Urgent and fierce. Bastard, bastard, bastard. Even biting me, hurts, hurts, hurts. Accompanied by the sound of the metal buckle at the waist opening. Lights swaying. Passion faded, he finally regained reason. But this time, he wasn't cold like before. Instead, he held me in his arms to soothe. We lay on the sofa, he kissed my fingers. Have you been in love? He suddenly asked me. Embarrassingly, although I admit I'm a veteran pervert. But before him, I hadn't even touched a man's finger. It's not that no one pursued me. Just that I always felt dissatisfied here or there. Since meeting him, everyone else paled. Later, heard he returned to help parents manage the company. Our encounter was indeed not accidental. It was after I worked hard for a long time to get the offer from Adrian Group that I could see him again. I shook my head. No, I have. In university, met a girl I really liked. At that time, I hadn't realized, with my family background, I couldn't decide my own marriage. He said, he proposed to his family wanting to marry that girl. His parents flew into a rage. At first he resisted. But what followed was like in TV dramas. His parents froze all his assets. He had no way, finally left that girl. His parents arranged a transfer for him, went abroad. I quietly listened to his story. Actually, in university I watched him date that girl for 2 years. Their relationship was indeed good. At first, knowing he was in love, I was devastated. I secretly liked him for 3 years since high school. His grades were good, I wanted to attend the same university as him in the future. Studied desperately, finally got in. But he was with someone else. From beginning to end, probably know me in his memory. These years I've fought with all my might, just to choose my own life. Not to contribute everything for the family. Freedom, love. No wonder he said back then his pressure was great. No wonder he's different from the bold sunny boy in memory. But I still like him. He kissed my palm. Willing to be with me? But I can't give you promises. I don't know if in the end I can truly escape this fate. But during this time I'll take good care of you. I was excited to the point of tears. Of course. I've liked you for so many years. How could I not? I kissed his brows and eyes. Gazed at his face, clearly seeing all the missed years. My first time shopping with Adrian. After going out, we both became a bit shy. Walking with some distance between. Really want to hold his hand. Forget it, whatever. I interlocked my fingers into his palm. He glanced at me, eyes curving. Pick whatever. He held me to a luxury clothing store, palm open. I casually glanced at the prices. Any piece is my 2 years' salary. A bit embarrassed, too valuable. No, now I'm a tycoon's girlfriend. Don't be so petty, what's wrong with spending my boyfriend's money? This one, and this one. I tried a few, had the clerk pack them all. Checkout, 28 million. Damn, seems overdid it. Never seen such a big number in my life. I didn't dare look in his eyes. Did I, buy too much? He chuckled, shook his head. With your spending style, others would think I'm bankrupt. Is it that exaggerated? Between his slender index and ring finger, a platinum black card. Handed to me, the man with a smile on his lips. If you can max it out, consider me incompetent. At this moment, his whole body sparkled. Simply the handsomest man in the world. That night, he stayed at my place. The next day we got up early to go to the company. Suddenly $1 million appeared in the card. Ah! So much money, ah! I struck it rich, ah! Anxiously stamping my feet. Ha ha ha. He laughed loudly, rubbing my head. Like it? Didn't you say I abuse you, not giving raise? Enough? I pounced into his arms, fiercely kissed several times. My annual salary directly doubled, ha 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 ha. Like. He flicked my forehead. Looking down on me? Who said this is your annual salary? It's daily salary. I almost fainted on the spot. Won't you really go bankrupt like this? Perhaps I'm richer than you imagine. Oh my God. I must have saved the galaxy in my last life. Adrian had me moved to his large apartment. Every day with him was happy. But one thing. In public, he never acknowledged our relationship. Even commuting, deliberately staggering to different directions. Between us, it seemed only when alone were we lovers. At first I thought I was open-minded. He has his constraints. But over time, felt weird. That day, Adrian accompanied me shopping. Met his mother. I was a bit scared, if really as he said. His parents control his marriage, at this moment his mother should want to tear me apart. But his mother kindly pulled my hand, praising, such a beautiful girl. I smiled embarrassedly, but his expression was serious. After some time, he told me not to go to the company anymore. You don't need to work, I can support you. I asked him uneasily, afraid our thing gets known, right? He didn't speak, just smoked. I resigned, but didn't stay home idly, instead joined a foreign enterprise. He said he could recommend better companies, I didn't want. I always felt everything he gave me doesn't belong to me. Not real. But later, our affair couldn't be hidden. Some cutie snapped our photos and posted online. His circle exploded. What followed was news of his engagement. With that miss from Vivian family. Are you really marrying her? Don't you dislike her? His head lowered very low, buried in my neck. Sorry, I still can't. Can't control his own life. Clearly he worked so hard. So excellent. Still can't resist his parents' word. Only then I realized. Turns out his mother doesn't need any malice toward me. Because in their eyes, I'm insignificant as dust. Can't change anything. When your opponent is weak enough, you won't even care. Disdain to care. I can understand him, but can't stay calm. This was our first fight, very fierce. If I don't do that, I'll lose everything. Even if I marry, I'll still be with you. I'll buy you a house, in a place I can see. I'll give you money, enough for the rest of your life without work. Whenever free, I'll come accompany you. You won't lose anything now. Isn't this enough? I slapped him. He got angry. If I have nothing now, would you still be with me? Why can't you understand me? After saying this, I stood stunned for a long time, staring incredulously. You think I'm with you for your money? He realized he misspoke, hands on my shoulders. Sorry, I was too agitated. Crying, I took all the things he bought from the wardrobe. Clothes, jewelry, gems. All thrown and smashed on the ground. Give back, give back, give back. I don't want. I want nothing. You think I care? What if without these? He hugged me tightly. Leah. Don't make a fuss. Sorry, I misspoke. Tears and snot flowed uncontrollably. My appearance was disheveled. But I couldn't bear it, really couldn't. I tore off the pull tab from the can, held it in front of him. Propose to me now, with this can pull tab, and I'll marry you. Even if you have nothing, I'll marry you. Do you dare? He lowered his eyes, I saw he cried too. Sorry. I'm sorry to you. I smiled. Then goodbye. I left, he didn't chase. I went to the bank, returned all the money he transferred to me over 2 years to his card. Things not mine, I don't need. Parting on bad terms is our best end. I fear if any affection remains, I couldn't resist. Couldn't resist being his mistress. My 9 years of love, I won't allow it to become so unbearable. He got married. As if. On the 16th day of his hunger strike, the doctor said he was dying. His parents cried heartbrokenly, regretting. It's mom and dad's fault, forcing you like this. If we knew he liked that girl so much, marry her then. Better than us forcing him to death. It's all you. What's the use of face? Now son's gone, happy. You disagreed too. Why only blame me? Son, as long as you're well, mom and dad won't force you. Get better soon. They personally came to pick me up, said their son wants to see me before death. I came, he unprecedentedly said he wants to eat. The old couple were overjoyed. No one noticed our knowing glance in the dark. Under my care, he slowly recovered. His parents dared not oppose us anymore. After all, they can stop me, but not their son's determination to die. Who would gamble with a child's life? The foreign enterprise supervisor is a very fierce woman. Strict, overbearing, unreasonable. Thinking of a leave reason requires racking brains. I sat at the computer desk, bit the pen cap for half a day, wrote many on draft. Family passed away. No, inauspicious. Not feeling well? No, used last time. Tire burst. No, colleague used last time. Bad mood. No, not strong enough. Just asking for leave, is it necessary? Adrian pulled out my draft paper, frowned examining for half a day. You don't know, our supervisor is great at making things difficult. And recently high workload, company very busy, even minor illness she drags back to work. Asking for leave harder than climbing heaven. Humph, he chuckled lightly. Drew a white paper from the bookshelf, picked up a pen and wrote something. Then directly sealed into an envelope. Here. He handed it to me somewhat proudly. Give this to her, it'll be enough. Real or fake? The next day, supervisor looked at the letter and sighed. Eyes full of intensity, finally actually approved my leave. Even smilingly concerned about me a few words. What exactly was written? I picked up that white paper. It was recommendation letter paper. Written in bold flowing font, her salary, I'll pay. Your loss, I'll compensate. She's just going for checkup. If dissatisfied, anytime. Adrian.